Hey, back with Excel. Lesson 1, Exercise 3. Find you a textbook open to page 372. On page 372, we're going to be working with autocomplete, pick from a drop-down list, autocorrect, and yes, spell checker. Excel does provide a spell checker. For our first activity, we are going to open multiple books. So have book 1 open, and then let's open a new blank workbook. Click on Create. And now I have book 2. Let's open up a third one. Office button, New, blank workbook, Create. Now I have 3 books open. Notice on your taskbar, if I go down to the Excel icon, for me, all 3 of mine pop up horizontally. Yours may pop up vertically, but mine pop up horizontally, and I can switch from book to book really fast. And if you look on page 373, you'll see a picture of a grouped workbox on the taskbar towards the bottom of the page. As you can see, mine do not show up that way, but yours may be stacked on top of each other. This may just be the difference between your windows and my windows, but there is an easy way to move between different workbooks. Back on page 73, on the left-hand side, you see something in blue called Recent Workbooks are listed in the Recent Document area of the Office menu, and that we find that in the Office button. And right here would be your list. I do not have any. I've turned that feature off, but you actually could turn that off. But your documents may be listed right here in this area, any workbooks that you have opened up. And moving on, page 374, the top left-hand side, we're going to compare workbooks. And this is kind of a neat feature if you're going to work with 2 spreadsheets right next to each other. Maybe you're copying data from one to the other, and so you can see them side by side, and you don't have to always go back and go down to the taskbar and switch. And the way you find that is in the View tab. In the ribbon, find where it says Arrange All. Click there, and then a little pop-up window appears. And let's start by doing the selection Tiled, and then click OK. Notice it put all 3 workbooks. From here, let's close workbook 3, or whichever one is in this big panel you have. No, I don't want to save the changes, and let's do it again. Let's arrange all, and let's make them vertical. And then click OK, and now they're side by side. And we will actually work with this feature today as part of our assignment. There are other views. Try arrange all and do horizontal, and that puts them on top of each other. This would be if you had a long, skinny spreadsheet looking at. Let's do arrange all again and do vertical, so they're side by side. And continue. Please make sure you're following along on page 374. You have your book open and you're on page 374. I'm on the left-hand column at the bottom where it says autocomplete. Another handy feature, when you have to repeat a label that has already been typed in the same column, you can use the autocomplete. Okay, let's try that. So let's start by typing in the word red, and go to 2 and type in blue, and then type in green. And then for number 4, type in red again. But as I hit the R key, the rest of the word shows up. I can hit enter. Let's do green, G. Oh, it showed up. That is autocomplete. Okay. Now let's add black, L-A-C-K. And then let's add blue this time, B-L. And then once I hit the U key, then the autocomplete. Okay. There's another feature also. It's called Pick from a List, looking at the right-hand side of 374. And if you take your mouse and right-click in cell A8, And down at the bottom of this menu, you have pick from a drop-down list. Select this one, and then now I can pick which one I want to enter without even typing it in there. Let's see if this works in column B. So let's go to B2, right-click, and it says pick from a drop-down list. But we haven't entered anything in this column. So this feature only works if you've already entered something in these columns. So let's put something in. Let's put some states. Let's do Texas. And let's do New York. Let's do... oh, give me another state. Got it, Maine. Thinking of short ones here. Nevada. Oops, A. And what about New Mexico? N-E. Where's my autocorrect? Oh, New York. No, I need M-E-X-I-C. Oh. What about Texas? Yep, there it is again. Autocorrect. Or autocomplete. Sorry, autocomplete. Massachusetts. M-A. No, let's go back with Maine. I know how to spell that one. Oops. And then let's do in B9, let's pick from a drop-down list. Pick from a drop-down list. Make sure you right-click in order to bring up this menu. And let's pick New Mexico. And we will be working with both of these features during our assignment today. Let's take this book that's on the left and maximize it. And that would be that little square icon. We click there and we make it big so we can only see this one. Just like Word, Excel has some autocorrect features, and you can even add and customize to it. So let's do one. Go to the Office button, Excel Options, and it's under Proofing, and then our autocorrect options button. And here we can automatically put one in for us. Let's put TX, and let's have it replaced with TEXAS. And then you click Add, and it has now been added to our autocorrect. Let's try one. Another one. Let's see, I'm going to do RT. And put your initials there. And then I'm going to replace it with my name. And so you put your name in there. And when you're done with that, click Add. And let's try and practice both of these work. We'll click OK. And on our Office button dialog box, click OK. And let's try it. Let's go to D3 and type in RT. But what if I hit the Enter key? Hey, there we go, it worked. Let's go to D5 and do TX. And if I do, let's do the space bar this time. We'll hit the space bar. And it fit. And hit the Enter key. Continuing, page 374, you're in your book. Page 374, the last thing is spell check. And I'm not really sure how to use the spell check or where it is. So let's see, look through my procedures. We've done all of those. Where's spell check? Oh, there it is, 376. There's check spelling. And it looks like I could hit F7. So let's try that. Find F7 on your keyboard. And mine did not work. Maybe yours did. So let's see, I need to continue. So to review, we find the Review tab. Here it is. And then it says in the Proofing group, here it is. Click the spell check. Ah, there it is. So they say, are you sure about this? Oh, Maine needs to be capitalized. So I could change it once, or I could change them all. I think I'm going to change them all. New Mexico. They didn't like that one. I'm going to say ignore all of them. Yes, let's continue from the beginning of the document. Oh, Texas should be capitalized. Let's change all of them. York, New York. Well, I know that's the correct spelling, so we're going to ignore all of them. And Nevada reminds me it should be capitalized. So let's change all of those. And it tells me spell check is complete. We click OK. Gotcha. Now let's work with a feature that's not in this book, so I don't have to go and change all of those. Go to the Home tab. Over on the far right in the Editing tab, you see Find and Select with binoculars. Click on there, and then look for where it says Replace. And click on Replace. And let's see, let's replace New York with capital N Y-O-R-K. And then we have replace all, replace, find all, find next. I want to replace all of them. And it told me it said searched and made one replacement. And let's do the same for New Mexico. Oops, I need to lowercase that one. And then I'm gonna, oh, I can't even spell it there. Let's try again. New Mexico, and let's capitalize it with New Mexico. Make sure both letters are capitalized. Click on Replace All. And it tells me it had found and replaced 2 of them. And sure enough, now my states are capitalized. I'm done with the find and replace. We're going to click Close. And we are now ready for our assignment. And in your book, page 376, we're going to do our exercise directions, and this is going to be our assignment for today. We are done with book 2, not the red X, because that closes all of Excel, but I just want to close this book, so I do this bottom X. And no, I do not want to make changes to this. And hopefully you have book 1 open or one more book open. If not, go ahead and open up another workbook to get started. And let's look at our directions. So number 1 says Start Excel, check. Now number 2 says Open 03 Bakery. We don't have that file, but actually we're just going to make it. So we're going to save this book as what it says on number 2, 03 Bakery Schedule. And then instead of the date, we're going to put our initials. So let's go Office button, Save As, Excel Workbook. And we're going to call him 03 BAKERY _ and my initials. And we're going to save it. Oh, I forgot to put it to my desktop. Make sure it's on my desktop, and then we're going to save. And now we're ready to go. Okay. So I'll be doing a little bit different than the directions. Number 5, use the auto arrange. We're going to skip him because we only have one workbook open. And number 6, click within the window. Nope, skip 6. 7, we're going to skip. 8, we're going to skip. 9, we're going to skip. And actually 10, we're going to skip. And 11 is what we're looking for. We're going to type the data shown in illustration A. And you find illustration A on page 377. But before we begin, we're going to find us a little picture to put in there. So go to the Insert tab. Find where it says Clip Art. Click on Clip Art. And you should have a window open on the side. And since this is whole grain breads, let's type in bread and see what kind of picture we can find. Alright, not giving us my, I guess I'll use this one picture. And let's add him into our workbook. Oh, and some more pops up. Actually, I want you up there. Okay. And that'll work. So we'll start on A10. Hey, that's right where they were. Okay. So let's start by typing in whole grain breads. And why don't you go ahead and pause and do row 10, row 11, and row 12. Now look closely at where it says whole grain bread and row 10, and there's a little symbol at the end. And actually that's in one of our directions. Where is that? There, number 10. Okay. It says continue, find A10 to enable the cell, and then type parentheses, lowercase r parentheses after whole grain breads. So go to A10, and we find it in the formula bar. And click in the formula bar to put your cursor up there. Hit the space bar, and then shift key parentheses, lowercase r, shift key parentheses, and then hit the space bar, and now it changes it. It gives us that little symbol right there. And ready to move on. And let's go to C14. And we'll start typing our type that whole row: customer, item, quantity needed, quantity shipped, and still need, and then resume our video. And continuing on, and I don't know about you, but mine didn't really fit in here, so I'm going to go to column C and click on the C, and then go right in between the C and the D to where it changes, and double click right there, and then go D and E, double click, and then do E and F, double click, F and G, double click, and G and H, double click. And what that does is gives us, it makes our column wide enough for it to fit. And I didn't like D, so I'm going to manually do it. So I click and hold, and then move it to actually the width that I want. And if you would, please enter all your customer names and use either autocorrect, or I'm sorry, autocomplete, or do the right click, drop down from a drop down list as you start to see repeats. When you are done with all the customer names, then resume our video. And we have all our customers, and hopefully you used the pick from a drop down list or noticed the autocomplete, which made it type a lot faster. But let's change our column width, and I'm going to manually do it this time. So I'm going to click and hold between C and D and drag it till it's far enough past market, and I like the way that looks. Then we're going to go to item. Please type in all the items in this column. Pause our video to allow yourself time to type. Use the autocomplete or pick from a drop-down list, please, to speed up the typing. And using page 377, we have completed all of our items. Let's double-click between the D and the E this time. Actually, let's make it a little bit wider. Good. Now fill in your quantity needed in column E. Fill all this in. Pause the video. And actually, we're going to put a formula in row G, or column G, so don't enter those numbers in. Just enter the numbers in for quality needed. Pause the video. And we are ready. And I'm going to go ahead and close this clip art. I'm done with him. For column G, we're going to put a formula in. And the way we put a formula is we always start with an equal sign. And this is a very easy formula. So up in the formula bar, make sure you're in G14. Type equals, which is right above the plus sign. And then we're going to use our mouse to click which box. So we want to do this box. And then we're going to do subtraction minus the quantity shipped. So we have E14 minus F14. Hit the enter key, and that number appears for us. And to make this really easy, make sure you're in G14 again. Hold down the Control C to copy. Or you can right click in this cell and copy him. And then we're going to paste it everywhere, but I'll show you a nice easy way to do that. If you click and highlight all of these cells, so make sure you have from G15 to G29, we're going to right click in this area. We get a pop-up menu, and we're going to paste, and it's going to put the formula in every cell. And then hit escape key to remove this wavy dotted lines. And our formula has correct because we have the same number in every single cell. And we can even check each one of our cells. If we click in the cell, we can see the formula in the formula bar, do the down arrow, and you notice we have the formula in every single cell. Let's save our document and go to the Office button, Save As, Excel Workbook, find our desktop. There's our file. Let's save. Yes, replace it. And now take this document and turn it into your Google Classroom, please, under Assignment 3. And we are done with this assignment.